Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about weight loss and weight gain. So if any of these are a trigger for you or you're getting professional help for any of them, please don't watch this because I really don't want anybody getting upset by this. I'm coming into this video from a place of love and just wanting to share my knowledge and what I've been through to save you having to do all the doom scrolling and searching for the answers. Okay, so in specifically, I want us to speak about weight gain in menopause and why it's happening. And the reason it's happening is because we're not talking about it. We're not talking about it honestly with one another because we don't have the right information. It's so sketchy. Your GP will just say it's just your age. When is it never a woman's age? She goes to her doctor in her 20s, and with anxiety, oh, it's just your age. You go to the doctor in your 30s and you're maybe not feeling that good about yourself and you notice different things happening in your body, oh, it's just your age. And then when you get to 40, it's just your age. When is it never just going to be about the fact that a person's not feeling good? I get sick of this branding of it, oh, it's just your age. With the weight gain, it's not just your age, it's also menopause if you're a woman. And what's happening is that women don't realise when they reach a certain age in their life and hormones start changing, that basically their body gets kidnapped by two hormones in particular. One is called ghrelin and the other one is called leptin. Now, ghrelin is the hormone that tells your brain you're hungry and you need to have the meal, you need to eat something because you're feeling lightheaded or however it is you're feeling. Leptin is the one that tells you you're full up, stop eating, you don't need that, you don't need any more. Otherwise you're going to start to feel uncomfortable. What happens when we reach perimenopause is that leptin goes on holiday and leaves ghrelin in charge. So all of a sudden you've got women all over the world who are like, I can't stop eating, I've got an appetite, I can't stop munching, I munch when I get bored, I've got a snack cupboard like you wouldn't believe. And this is what happens. And then all of a sudden, you see comments all over Facebook groups, one in particular that I'm a member of, that is an exercise platform, and there's a private Facebook group, and it's just full of comments of these poor women who are like at their wits' end because they're saying, I'm exercising all the time and I can't lose weight. I think I'm eating healthily, but I can't lose weight. I'm beating myself up at the gym and the scales don't shift, or I've put on a couple of pounds. A couple of pounds. Years and years ago in your 20s, a couple of pounds would not have bothered you here and there. But with the mental anguish that can go along with menopause and that lack of confidence, I'm talking from my own experience here, that I experienced, it can just absolutely tip you over the edge and floor you and make you ugly cry for days. So what can we do about it? The best thing that I can think of is for what I did is to follow a sensible eating plan. I cook from the Slimming World magazine, but also it was realising as well about the munchy hormone and realising when it was trying to take charge of me. I make all my own lunches and dinners and I take them to work with me to keep me out of Greg's because I love fudge donuts. I'm not saying I've eliminated all these foods from my life, but I really do keep a lid on what I'm consuming now with regards to that. Otherwise, I would just eat a whole pack. I could quite happily do 4 fudge donuts in a row, no bother. I can't keep that stuff in the house, to be honest with you though, because I know in an evening, if I've got a pack of Kit Kats in the cupboard, I'll eat one and then I'll want to eat the rest because I think they're getting lonely. But what kind of impact is that having? So with me, it was just the whole lack of confidence. It was not realising what was happening. It was not realising why my appetite was going through the roof. Nobody had explained that to me. This is why I'm making this video, to give you a heads up. And that then was accompanied by excessive bloating, excessive sweating, and not realising also that I had food groups that could make all those things a lot worse. So mine are anything with a high glycemic index, which is like white potatoes, white bread, pasta, cakes, anything that gives my body a sugar rush can still bring on a hot sweat with me. I would probably say about 4 years ago, it went to the extent of like if I went near potatoes, within a few minutes it looked like somebody had a garden hose over me. I was absolutely soaking with sweat, which is just like increases your stress levels, and again it just starts the cycle over and over again. So the kindest thing that I can say is to just be aware of that. I actually had this conversation with an absolutely gorgeous friend of mine who basically said all the things I've just shared with you just now, that she was in a situation where she was like, oh my God, I'm going to the gym, I'm running the park run in the morning, I come back, I just want to eat everything in the flat, I've got such an appetite on me, I can't stop eating. And I was like, ooh, I recognise this. And the kindest way I could think of saying to her was, well, 52-year-old me would tell 40-year-old me to kind of keep an eye on that and not keep anything in the house, and also watch your portion sizes. I put weight on in my early 40s, probably late 30s actually, now thinking about it, when I lived with a boy who was a really good cook, and he was 6'3", and I was eating the same size of portions as he was. That wasn't going to work out well, was it? But that was the start of it. You know, when you've got good food in front of you, you do want to eat it all. So now, like when I was out for dinner on Saturday night, and I had a calzone, and it was huge. Oh, it was gorgeous. Anyway, but I ate half because I was like, no, if I eat that other half, it's going to make me feel really, really stuffed and uncomfortable. But I could have kept munching, no problem. But I knew it was going to make me feel awful afterwards. So it's just realizing that you do actually have a cut-off point, but unfortunately, because the hormones have kicked off, they're making you think otherwise. So just be mindful of that. Why am I making this video? It sounds really cruel, doesn't it? Telling a woman to be mindful of what she's eating and watch her appetite. I mean, how dare I? I can remember when somebody said that to me in my 40s, I was like, you know, I was really quite horrified. But I'm doing this because I want to save other women the anguish of wondering what's wrong. And there's nothing wrong. It's just you're not quite getting your recipe right. You're not quite getting that balance. The more protein I eat, the less sugar I crave. If I have boiled eggs for breakfast or Weetabix with fruit, I'm not going to want the fudge donut at 11 o'clock. I'm not going to get that sugar craving. If I eat a decent lunch that's got lentils in it and fish, or maybe what am I doing just now? I seem to be quite fond of taking chicken and avocado with me because I eat meat. Then I don't want the bar of chocolate at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not getting that craving. Is this making sense? I started using an app called NutriCheck. I'm not an affiliate or anything like that. I'm not an influencer. But using that made me realise how much fruit and veg I wasn't eating during the day, and that was a huge heads up for me. So speak to friends, buy food magazines. I buy the Slimming World magazine. I find it keeps me on track and gives me great ideas for what to cook and take with me for my lunch to keep me out of Greg's. I don't deny myself any food groups, but I am just very, very aware of how much of those food groups I'm consuming. And the result is that I'm 52. I feel as good as I did now when I was 27. In no way do I weigh the same as I did when I was 27. That's never going to happen. But, I'm getting dressed and I'm like, okay, I feel good about this. I feel good about what I'm wearing now. I feel a lot more confident in myself. And that can only be a good thing. But when I read all these comments from women on Facebook groups about I'm putting on weight, I'm getting really upset, I just want to throw the towel in, I just want to give up, and it's like, oh man, I wish you knew what I'd been through. So that's why I'm making this video. If you know anybody that's struggling, speak to them about it, show them this video, share it with them. I hope you found this useful, and I hope you have taken it from the place of love that I speak of, because it's all I want to do is save women getting upset about this because they don't realise what's happening to them. That's all. Thanks for watching. Bye.